Bezos and Sanchez are officially set to say I do on June 27.
We're entering the final countdown for what promises to be one of the most expensive, most exclusive, highly secretive weddings of the entire year.
And this is the wedding to be at this year. As you say, it will be the wedding of the year. Would Meghan like to be there? She would kill to be there. They are off the A list. They're off the B list. I don't even think they make the C list anymore.
Champagne corks are already popping in imaginations across Italy. Jeff Bezos begins a 3-day wedding blowout in Venice tomorrow, and the buzz crackles like static over the lagoon. This is not a run-of-the-mill celebrity union. Picture private jets sliding onto hidden runways, glossy boats gliding through moonlit canals, and fireworks arching above centuries-old palazzos like bright crowns. Tourists will drop their gelato and stare, because Venice is bracing for a spectacle. City workers are closing alleyways, floodlights are rising over marble bridges, and security teams in crisp suits now swarm every pier. When you host the richest person on Earth, trouble shadows the glamour. Environmental voices warn that mega yachts may choke the fragile lagoon while swarms of drones could frighten nesting birds. Local shopkeepers grumble that the usual evening stroll may turn into a maze of velvet ropes, but no one can stop the incoming parade. The guest list reads like a global power directory. Rumor places Oprah, Kim Kardashian with her entourage, tech titan Bill Gates, and even political heir Ivanka Trump on the invitation. Whispers also float about Barbra Streisand, Mick Jagger, and maybe a head of state arriving under cover of night. This is not a wedding. It is a summit draped in designer silk. Every invitation is a signal. Each name shouts I matter, and each nonstop flight, yacht ride, and diamond-studded dinner screams we bought our seat at the table. Glossy magazines race to guess which gowns Lauren Sanchez chose, which floating restaurant will host the rehearsal feast, and whether a DiCaprio joke will land on the menu card. Yet under all that sparkle sits a question nobody wants to voice. Where are Meghan and Harry? Just a few years ago, the Duke and Duchess rewrote royal celebrity rules. They signed huge streaming deals, owned headlines, and walked every red carpet. Now their phones stay silent. Some insiders claim they were never asked. Others mutter they politely declined. Either way, the absence lands like a slap, because when you are hot, you never miss a guest list.
Where are Meghan and Harry?
She would kill to be there. But I don't think her or Harry came anywhere near making this guest list. They weren't sort of considered and then, well, perhaps we can't quite fit them in. These people are not in this league anymore.
This event unfolds in real time. Hours tick away until the world's costliest I do. Stories harden right now. Will tomorrow show sweet reunions of old Hollywood legends or reveal a brutal shift where missing names clash louder than the fireworks? The cameras will decide. The day after tomorrow, reporters will show who strode the red carpet, who floated by gondola, who high-fived the photographers. Then the soft whisper about Meghan and Harry will grow into a roar. In these circles, presence equals power. Silence equals doubt. If you are missing from the stage, especially at this moment, you send an unspoken confession. And that silence stings. Imagine being the duo once hailed as daring disruptors who rattled monarchies in Hollywood alike, yet now not even snapped beside Bezos. No viral gown, no cryptic story, no blurry cameo, only a void. Headlines tomorrow will prod that void and ask the ugly question, strategic retreat or fading starlight? Have the glamorous rebels lost their seat, or did they dodge a party that would expose their stalled momentum? Right now they do not rank on the A list or the B list, and maybe not even the C list. This wedding doubles as a scoreboard that shows power, wealth, and cultural gravity in one glittering frame. Meghan and Harry are nowhere on that frame. Hollywood breathes optics. Silence around their absence shouts louder than any press release.
5 years ago, they would have been invited to this wedding.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree. That was during their novelty phase, particularly when Hollywood just wanted to embrace.
Remember how in 2018, they could not walk into a grocery store without lighting up global news. They left the palace hoping to build a new crown in California. Then the slide began. Projects were announced and then stalled. A podcast fizzled. A Netflix series promised wisdom but felt like branded therapy. Harry's memoir Spare burst with gossip that sold books but drained respect. Respect matters more than raw clicks, and Hollywood measures respect by staying power. Tinseltown runs like a treadmill that never stops. Keep pace or fly off the belt. Fast forward to now. The Meghan Harry brand moves through syrup. Her lifestyle pivot with artisan jam jars and humble motivational captions feels like cosplay around influence. Teases appear without substance, so when Bezos and Sanchez drafted the ultimate Who Matters roster, their names did not earn ink. 5 years ago, they were automatic invites. Back then, Hollywood adored the novelty. Today, the circle is new, laser-focused on current force, cultural command, and unapologetic money. Here is the cruel twist. The snub might not be hostile. It might be worse, simple indifference. In Hollywood, the fade rarely ends with a slam door. One day you trend. The next day someone asks, weren't they at a Netflix gala once? Did she launch a jam line? Sources close to the couple say they value privacy, or they are picking smart moments. Insiders translate that to you are out of place. You regroup or you stall while waiting for a call that might never ring. And calls do not come unless you bring fresh heat. Right now they are not even bringing strong vibes. Environmental groups plan small boat rallies with banners that read "Protect the Lagoon."
They coughed everything they had to cough, and they've got nothing left. So, again, they cannot claim to be successful.
Police will push them behind floating fences, but television helicopters will still capture the sight of privilege meeting protest on glittering water. Inside the palace kitchens, chefs perfect truffle risotto, imported lobster, and gold leaf desserts. Each dish must photograph like art because every guest carries a phone that can spark a headline within seconds. Firework engineers test light shows in secret warehouses outside the city. They promise sky paintings that reflect off water and marble so perfectly that future tourists will swear Venice glowed for weeks. Hotel managers near St. Mark's Square report that top floors have been reserved under code names. Curtains stay drawn all day to block curious lenses while stylists dash in with garment bags bigger than small cars.
Nobody wants to know those two because they haven't produced anything since the Netflix series and or Spare. Nothing whatsoever.
Meanwhile, fashion blogs fight over which designer won the bidding war for Lauren Sanchez's primary gown. Will she choose a futuristic metallic sheath that nods to rocket ships, or a vintage lace tribute to Venetian history? Bloggers bet money on both. Even the local gondoliers are on standby. Some have signed non-disclosure agreements and expect a bigger payday for one silent ride than they earn in a month of serenades. All this noise makes the Meghan and Harry gap wider. At an event calibrated down to the angle of each spotlight, their blank spot on the seating chart looks like a missing jewel. If the couple plan a counter move, it must land fast. Hollywood cycles through stories every sunrise, and once this wedding eclipses the skyline, the next trend will roll in like the tide. Their former allies are not waiting. Publicists who once begged for their partnership now pivot to new faces, and studio chiefs connect with influencers who generate numbers without royal baggage. By the time church bells chime tomorrow night, the world will know who stood in candlelight halls and who watched from afar. That reckoning will last longer than the confetti. Imagine watching a crown slip right through royal fingers. That is the sorrow floating around Meghan and Harry today. Once they ruled the cultural world with bold charm and media skill. They were rebels with royalty, ready to flip every script. Instead of building new ideas, they kept airing old complaints, and the audience drifted away. Hollywood rarely offers a second spin. The Bezos wedding starts tomorrow, and every seat belongs to someone who matters right now, not to yesterday's headline. The harsh part? Meghan sees the signal. Her public relations radar is sharp when she chooses to use it. Harry might shrug until someone spells it out, yet the sting will arrive all the same. This guest list is not about friendship, it is pure optics. Each chair is a line on a living resume of power. Meghan and Harry did not make the cut because math says they no longer add value. Look at the VIPs sailing to Venice. Oprah models cultural greatness. DiCaprio still headlines movies and pushes causes. The Kardashians bend algorithms at will. Even Lauren Sanchez has crafted a brand of helicopters, green projects, and luxury living. She wins by strategy, not accident. Meghan and Harry, by contrast, cling to tales of escape and grievance, like a limited edition bag gathering dust. Their story has not grown while Hollywood rushed ahead. When your name starts to sit in a spam folder of public interest, you know the spotlight has turned. The sad proof shows up in their headlines. Meghan's artisan jam jars spark polite chuckles, not excitement. Harry appears on panels, reciting mental health buzzwords while checking his notes. There is no strong center, only scattered noise. Meanwhile, Bezos and Sanchez project a single clean message: power, flight, charity, luxury. That clarity opens every golden door. Relevance is an energy, and desperation drains it fast. Stars who matter act like they already own the room. Meghan's fruit plate photos feel like Tier 2 influencer posts. Harry's virtual speeches land flat. Even little missteps now roar louder. When a social platform had to fact-check Meghan about her toddler's produce stand, it was not scandal, it was a punchline. Become the joke, and invitations vanish. They have produced nothing fresh since their Netflix splash and spare. No new series, no gripping venture, only static. Tomorrow's wedding doubles as a mirror. It shows who shapes culture today. Meghan and Harry are not on that field because they confused attention with respect and publicity with strategy. They own the tools for a modern empire, royal past, global reach, fresh voice. Yet they mistook every camera flash for progress. Now the curtains draw, and the room grows quiet. As helicopters settle on Venetian rooftops and cameras flare, each guest will stand for something larger than a name. They will embody the new code of power. Meghan and Harry will be absent, not exiled but expired. Could they stage a comeback? Maybe. Hollywood loves reinvention as much as dominance. But it will take more than a podcast or a jam label. It will demand a bold pivot that wipes the slate clean and gives the world a new reason to care. Because the cruel truth is clear. Exclusion no longer shocks anyone. The silence itself is the headline. When the lagoon lights up tomorrow night, the scoreboard updates. Meghan and Harry will not appear on it, and that message arrives without a single word spoken. In celebrity circles, no one drafts a formal breakup letter, they simply stop calling. That is what happened here. The duo faded from main stage to memory. Meanwhile, the new inner circle, Bezos, Sanchez, DiCaprio, Oprah, keeps expanding its lead through clear moves and steady momentum. The Sussex engine stalled, not forever, but long enough to miss this defining celebration. A final question hovers like mist. Is their seat at the table gone for good? Perhaps not. Yet the cost of re-entry will be steep. They will need action, invention, and a headline that glows for the right reasons. Because in a world spinning this fast, relevance rarely waits. The wedding list is locked, cameras stand ready, and two former scene stealers prepare to watch from afar.